It's time for Good Game Spawn Point.
What have we got today, guys?
Oh, you know, just some ancient swords.
Robot Wars.
Mind-bending alien technology.
Could get some Donkey Kong thrown in with that.
Sure we can. Coming up on the show, we become legendary heroes in the Swords of Ditto.
We also try to escape from some fiendish, futuristic traps in Cube 2.
Plus, we find out what happens when schools go head-to-head in robotics.
We've got 3,000 people, 71 teams here, and so they have to build their robot and then compete with those robots.
Oh, and don't worry, that old arcade ape's around here somewhere.
Uh-oh.
The Swords of Ditto is an action RPG which puts a modern gaming spin on the tried and tested tale of a hero who must overcome evil and save the world.
Ah, yes, the classic hero's journey. Or should that be hero's journey? Because this isn't just the tale of one, but many. Your story begins as you're awoken on a beach by a ghostly dung beetle named Puku, who very quickly guides you to claim an ancient sword. Thus, you become the next Sword of Ditto, who must set out to destroy the evil sorceress Mormo. So, you rush off to her lair, fight some monsters, solve some puzzles, step up to face her...
And you're dead.
Gee, that was quick.
Sure was. Fortunately, this is just the beginning of a long line of swords who must work collectively over many centuries. Ridding the land of Mormo's evil anchors, earning special gadgets, leveling up, completing toy dungeons, and ultimately defeating her once and for all.
It's such an interesting twist on the standard fantasy adventure, made even more intriguing by the idea that each time you're defeated, you return 100 years later. Where not only will things be better or worse for the people of Ditto, depending on how successful your legend was, but the layout of the world will have completely changed.
And speaking of change, each newly fated hero only has 4 in-game days to do as much good as possible. So don't go getting too attached to them, no matter how cute they are. It's all a bit of a shock the first time you die and return. In fact, I'd go as far as to say it's all a bit overwhelming and confusing.
Yeah, totally. The game throws you in the deep end rather quickly. Aside from a few prompts to purchase essential items and some vague directions, much of the game is left for you to discover through trial and error. And while I usually love this kind of learn-as-you-go gameplay, some more instruction would definitely have helped, at least earlier on.
Probably the biggest concept to wrap your head around is what you can and can't take with you into a new adventure, because this helps direct where you should be spending your very limited time.
Once you have got a handle on the story, you can begin to explore the worlds deeper and try and uncover their many hidden secrets, such as mini-dungeons, as well as curious vendors and ancient relics that may even possess ways to make each playthrough a fraction easier.
Goose, I still don't know how I feel about this style of adventure overall. I can see what the developers were going for, fun little adventures that you can return to with a new hero each time. But the amount of time required to rediscover each map, crawl through dungeons, repurchase items, it all feels a bit at odds with itself.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? While you can select a difficulty level from the beginning, this is a tough game that requires you to plan ahead. However, to take the sting out of it, you can always have a friend jump in and play co-op. And Rad, I had heaps more fun playing this way.
Oh, me too, goosey old pal. Having another hero on hand makes everything easier. Earning dash, dealing with monsters, carrying your friends through trouble. Not to mention the best in-game revive system ever. Hugs!
Oh. How long does this go for?
Till you revive.
It is really cute. In fact, the whole art style is superb. All right, you can stop now. It almost feels like a love letter to adventure games that have come before. I definitely got a ton of old school Zelda vibes playing this.
Oh, it's scrumptious to look at, isn't it? But what did you think overall?
Well, Rad, I think I'm a bit torn. The Swords of Ditto manages to mix up a whole heap of interesting gameplay ideas that require you to plan out your adventure and play smart. And while mixing roguelike elements in with a traditional RPG is novel, I couldn't help yearn for a game with just a little more focus. So I'm giving this 3 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Well, there's no denying the level of creativity on show here, both from a gameplay perspective and in those utterly delightful visuals. And it is nice to play a co-op game with more depth than usual. So I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
All right, bring it in. Oh, there. the scoop. Sorry? Oh, thank you. The jacket's been dry cleaned, I'm feeling fresh and fabulous. Let's get ready to scoop. First off, some news for Xbox backwards compatibility, or back compat if you want to say something shorter and save a bit of time rather than backwards compatibility. Just makes sense. I've made that longer than it needs to be now. Microsoft announced recently that a new batch of original Xbox games will be available for Xbox One, including Motocross Racer MX Unleashed and Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. In addition to this, selected Xbox 360 games like Sonic Generations and Portal 2 are getting enhanced updates for Xbox One X. These have been rolling out throughout this month and should all be available by the end of April, which is about nowish, as you get a watch. Next up, Mojang has announced a date for this year's Minecon Earth. The interactive live stream for all things Minecraft will take place online on September 29th and will be the second year the event is fully digital. The live stream is set to feature game updates and gameplay plus panel discussions. And if you're the crafty sort, you might like to create a costume for the cosplay contest. There'll be more details to come in the lead up to the stream, and you'll know exactly how long there is to go with the countdown ticker on their website. So it won't creep up on you like a certain Minecraft mob we know. No, it's just a picture. And finally, American arcade gamer Billy Mitchell's high scores have been scrapped and he's been banned from being part of competitive arcade gaming. Twin Galaxies, the body responsible for examining video game high scores, found that Mitchell's famous Donkey Kong scores could not have been achieved using original unmodified arcade hardware. You may remember Billy Mitchell if you've seen the documentary King of Kong. Let's just say he comes across as quite a character. This news follows another instance of a record being invalidated from earlier this year. Todd Rogers' 35-year-old record for Atari 2600 game Dragster. This was due in part to a new dispute system that Twin Galaxies introduced to address claims against records of the past. The same system that led to this ruling about Mitchell's scores. Mitchell responded with a statement saying that everything was done professionally and implied that further explanation would be given soon. It's all very serious business. I guess that's why Donkey Kong wears a tie now. Alright, now it's time for the extra scoop. This week, it's a secret room in Chapter 6 of Celeste. Partway through the chapter, you can slip through some spikes to a secret room filled with a colourful cast of characters. These characters are from other games made by Celeste developer Matt Makes Games. There's the smiley squarishness of Ogmo from Jumper, Novoa from Skytorn, Captain Yuri from Out There Somewhere, and the blue and pink archers, plus the Ibat from Towerfall Ascension. There's no special reward for finding the room, aside from the delight of achievement itself. And if Celeste has taught us anything, isn't that the true reward? Well, that's it for the scoop today. If you found something you'd like to submit as an extra scoop, you can send it to us here. Alright, I'm done now. Back to the props room. Go, go. Oh, almost a world record.
Ah, hello, Goose. What's that you're processing?
Well, you know me, Darren, always keeping up with the local sports scores.
Ah, human sport, so soft and carbon-based. Why don't I show you an event where the competitors are far superior even to human Olympians?
Oh, that does sound amazing. How do I get you to come along? Do I bring the set with me?
Oh, negative. Just hold that tablet still.
Whoa! Nice upgrade, Daz. All right, let's go. Wow, Darren, this place looks amazing.
Affirmative. There's nothing like the scan of metal and motherboards in the air. Is that a Z3000? Oh, I've got to get down there.
Darren, come back. I can't lose him in here. Well, while Darren's off analysing the competition, perhaps I can find a fellow human to explain what exactly is happening. I'm here with Professor Barbara Messerly, who's the Executive Dean of Science and Engineering at Macquarie University. Now, Barbara, tell me, what's going on here today?
We have the first robotics competition today. We've got 3,000 people building robots and then competing with those robots. So they get a box of parts, and that's the starting point, and then they have a game. On this particular occasion, this year, they have to throw these square blocks around and they have to climb things. So they have to build their robot so that it can do those things.
Wow! Look at those transistors! And that coding!
Darren, where are you? I know Darren's around here somewhere. That girl looks official. Maybe she can help me find him. Sorry, excuse me, have you seen a robot?
Yeah, I've seen a huge number. Can I help you with one in particular?
Oh, right, you're one of the referees here.
Yeah, I am actually.
Oh, cool. Well, can you tell me a bit about the game that's being played today?
Sure, so this game is called First Power Up, and the aim of the game is to score as many points as possible.
The way they can do that is scoring points in the switch, or the low goal, and by scoring cubes in the high goal, called the scale. The longer the goal is tipped towards your alliance, the more points you get.
And how many robots are on the field at one time?
So it's 3 robots versus 3 robots, and those are randomly assigned.
Well, Catherine, thanks for talking to me, and I'll let you get back to your job.
Hey, is that the robot you're looking for?
Darren!
Goose, aren't these robots amazing? Why don't you go and talk to some of the builders?
How did you guys first get started in robotics?
So it was a large part due to the STEM coordinator at our school. She was really passionate about getting a robotics team started.
We spend the better part of 4.5 weeks building the robot, while the programmers, they spend a week working on routines that they'll use on the field.
And so what's your role in the team?
So I'm a mechanical, and this year I specialised in the drivetrain, so the thing that moves the robot around the floor on the field.
It's my job to move it around, pick up cubes, shoot them into the scale, into the switch.
When the robot goes off the field, when they come back, we need to fix it, make sure that it's ready for its next match, change the batteries over, things like that. Matches come quite quickly, so it's very stressful and everyone has to know what they're doing so that as soon as the robot in, we can get it done and get it back out again.
The whole team, since January, we've been building this robot. It's an incredible task.
And it's a big investment.
Yeah.
And of course, no team would be complete without a mascot. Is this what you guys need to get you across the line?
Yeah.
Well, good luck with Scorpion and good luck for the rest of the day. Oh, and if you see my robot, can you tell him I'm looking for him?
Sure, will do.
Thank you.
These humans are quite effective at crafting robots. Perhaps Goose should communicate with one of their mentors about how you could learn these essential skills.
Oh, he's already found one. Clever Goose.
So, Lael, you're one of the mentors here. Can you tell me, what's that role involve?
Sure. Mentorship is all about helping the students to achieve the best they can in robotics. We're training the students, how do we CAD, how do we make design choices, why do we make those decisions, how do we develop scouting apps, all those sorts of things. So when we get to competition, they're ready to go and build in the 6 weeks we have.
What advice would you have to any young kids out there who see this and want to get started in robotics?
Just start doing it. Find tutorials online that teach you how to program, or start looking at CAD designs online, get a 3D printer, start making models yourself, maybe design your own RC car. It'll be a great start to getting you going.
Wow, Darren, you're right. Robot competitions are amazing. But what amazes me more is that these teams build and program their robots in only a few months.
Indeed. Robots are complicated, strong and beautiful things, and these humans do well to build them at the level that they can compete in the competition.
But Darren, I'm still not sure if I find robot Olympians as impressive as human ones.
Oh, really? I can prove our superiority by lasering something.
No, Darren, that will not be necessary. Why don't we just go watch another match? Come on. Teach them over there. Come on, be fun. You love those things over there.
I wonder what gaming dilemmas will pop up in the inbox today, Jem.
Well, something we know the answer to would be good. First, Rooney, we have this video question from Charlie.
Hi GGSP, my name's Charlie and I have 2 questions for you. 1, can an Xbox One play Minecraft Xbox 360 edition? 2, can a Nintendo 2DS play Minecraft Nintendo 3DS edition? Thanks.
Thanks, Charlie. In answer to your first question, unfortunately, Minecraft Xbox 360 is one of the 360 titles that is not currently available via backwards compatibility on the Xbox One.
And also, you aren't able to play cross-platform between Xbox 360 and Xbox One either, which is a bit disappointing.
Yeah, I do believe there was a time when you could transfer your existing Xbox 360 Minecraft worlds to the Xbox One edition. However, a few online sources suggest this is no longer available for the more recent Xbox One editions, so I would not count on it.
Now, as whether the Nintendo 2DS can play the Minecraft Nintendo 3DS edition, well, the Minecraft new Nintendo 3DS edition was actually only released specifically for the newer Nintendo 3DS series. This includes new Nintendo 3DS, new Nintendo 3DS XL, and new Nintendo 2DS XL systems.
So, if you were referring to the older Nintendo 2DS, you're fresh out of luck there.
I wish we had some better news for you though, Charlie. Oh, actually, here's some. I like your shirt, dude.
Yes, that's the beauty of the video question. We get to see the latest in Spawnling fashion. So please send us more videos. More videos always, please. Moving on to our next question, we have this one from Potato Lord. Hello, I am Waffle Lord, and I want to ask you some questions. 1, are there going to be any new consoles coming out this year that you know of? 2, what are the best PS4 games to recommend? Darren, do these. Let's just bring him.
Double dollar signs! Bigo!
Thanks, Darren. Rad, do these. Answer these or you will be turned into potatoes. Potato. Thanks, Potato Lord. Or is it Waffle Lord?
Can you be a lord of both?
You know, I'm not really sure. I'm not quite up to date on my Lord lore of the potato universe versus the waffle universe.
What about Lord of the Waffle Fries? It's like a potato fried into waffle formation, like the best of both worlds.
Oh, you get the best of both worlds. Okay, we're waffling on now a bit.
Right, well, to your question about if there are any new consoles due out this year, I think it's pretty doubtful any major consoles will be ready for release in 2018.
Me too. Although there has definitely been a lot of talk swirling around lately about a potential PS5 in the works. But rumour has it that 2020 is looking like a more realistic time to expect that. Official reps have been reluctant to confirm or deny any specifics.
If that is the case, Xbox may try and match the PS5 with a new Xbox console around the same time. But that's a lot of variables when it comes to the release of hardware, so who knows?
Indeed. As for Nintendo, the president of Nintendo himself said earlier this year that he'd like to see the Switch have a lifespan of more than 5 to 6 years. So it's pretty unlikely they'd release a brand new console this year.
Oh, apparently though, there is a new Atari console coming, the Atari VCS. That might come out this year. We hear it will be able to run PC-style games as well as retro titles, rather than being a whole next-gen console.
Indeed. As for your next question about the best PS4 games, well, as we always say, it comes down to your personal preference. Some of my personal faves that are available on PS4 are Armello, a great little digital RPG board game by an Aussie independent studio. And Tricky Towers is another great one. Such simple fun that's great to play with others.
For me, I really like the colourful platforming of Rayman Legends. Those musical levels are so satisfying, and I love the co-op. Plus, I do enjoy a bit of farm time in Stardew Valley. But some other critically acclaimed games on the PS4 you might like include Journey, Undertale, Fez, SteamWorld Dig, Ratchet & Clank.
Oh, and Rocket League, Dragon Quest Builders, FIFA. Whew. All right, well, I guess we're in the clear now for being turned into potatoes.
Wait, if I was turned into a potato, wouldn't I be a potato gem?
Oh, delicious. Can you get turned into a potato right now?
I'll try.
All right, well, while you're working on that, we have time for one more question from Kate in Brisbane, Queensland. It didn't work. Try harder. Can I get Doctor Who on the iPad? Barjo is a noob.
Well, Kate, there does appear to be a couple of Doctor Who games available on the App Store. Two worth mentioning are Doctor Who Legacy, which is a simple gem-matching puzzle game with some familiar Doctor Who characters.
Gem matching. Maybe you could be a Doctor Who gem match. And there's also Doctor Who Comic Creator, which is a fun little app where you can make your own Doctor Who-themed digital comics.
Did you see how Kate called Barjo a noob just then?
I totally did, and he's not here to defend himself. He is a bit of a noob, though. Hello?
Hello, Rad, it's Darren speaking.
Hi, Darren, what's up? Why are you cool?
Oh, I hear that someone was accusing Barjo of being a noob. I just wanted to let you know I'm compiling all Barjo noob accusations for an experiment I'm working on.
Does he keep hearing what we're saying and then calling us about it? Is he listening to us? Darren, what kind of experiment?
Launching noob accusations into space! Oh, I'm interested in whether the accusations become weightless in microgravity. I really should be aware of any possible intergalactic noob loopholes, wormholes, or black holes. And with Barjo in space, I thought he'd be the perfect test subject.
Yes, well, important work. Well, let us know the outcome, Darren. Thanks. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, Darren. Love your work. Enjoy your science. Be safe. Nah, I love science.
Well, that's all we have time for today. If you have a question for Ask SP, go here. Does Darren have special qualifications for his noob work?
I'm pretty sure he has a PhD in noob regulation with majors in lasers and pedantry. He may have studied a little bit of noob law as well.
Who are you?
Q.U.B.E is a first-person puzzle game by developer Toxic Games, and it's a sequel to the well-received Q.U.B.E. Actually, Q.U.B.E is spelled Q-U-B-E, which stands for Quick Understanding of Block Extrusion.
Real snappy. The game starts during a sandstorm, as you slowly make your way to a flag in some ruins. You then wake up in a strange, sterile room, then start making your way to the top of the structure so you can escape with a woman named Emma, who has been talking to you via your comms.
I repeat, you may not remember, but if you listen to me and do as I say, we may actually make it back home.
There's a larger story here which is mysterious and at times a little spooky.
Yeah, the first time I ran into one of these statues, my heart started racing.
My heart beats, but I want it to beat for you.
Oh, so spooky.
I think Q.U.B.E is too scary for young spawnlings.
But if I'm being totally honest, I don't think I understood the plot that well. It was something about aliens and knowledge and powering up reactors.
Yeah, I'll be honest, it kind of went over my head a bit too, but then again, we didn't play the first game, so maybe we're at a bit of a disadvantage here. There was enough mystery to keep pulling me through the game as I wanted to reach a resolution, even though I didn't understand the question.
I've come across an exterior space.
But in a game like this, story is more just a bonus. It's all about the puzzles.
And what puzzles they are. Right away, this game reminded me of Portal, and that is a really, really good thing. The Portal series is widely regarded as stellar, and it's the standard by which I hold all puzzle games. They absolutely master being challenging and entertaining with a wonderful sense of flow. And I'm so pleased to say that Q.U.B.E absolutely follows in these footsteps.
Rad, I think you'll find that Q.U.B.E is missing the most important component of the Portal series, GLaDOS. Oh, that beautiful machine. Such wit, such power.
Oh my gosh, Darren, are you blushing?
What? Negative. I just need to replace my coolant. Excuse me.
I thought he didn't have coolant since he became an AI. Anyway, Q.U.B.E has you solving puzzles with a wave of your hand. Your gloves can turn panels into blue bounce pads, green cubes, or red pillars. You'll need these to either get to the end of a room or reach a reactor and turn it on. I didn't like how sometimes after turning on a reactor, I'd have to backtrack out the door I just came in. That felt a little bit lazy, but thankfully the levels are never too big.
Yeah, I do think that overall, the levels are designed really well. Panels are placed purposefully and in such a way that you can't fudge your way through. You need the solution, and the one the game designed for you. Also, you can't accidentally lock yourself out from the solution and then have to reload the whole level, which is my pet peeve in puzzle games.
The puzzles can be quite complex, but they naturally lead you through step by step. For example, when you exit a room, the next room is often right in your view. Everything feels clean and logical.
Yeah, I loved how I could always see what needed to be done next. I just had to find it. Perfect puzzling. Mwah. Q.U.B.E also drip feeds you new mechanics at just the right pace, keeping things interesting and challenging. Just when you think you've seen it all, bam! Here's something new for you to play with.
And it does a really good job of teaching you how to use these elements. At about 5 hours long, the game does not overstay its welcome. It also does a good job of mixing up easier puzzles with real head scratches to stop you feeling too stuck.
All in all, this is everything that I want from a puzzle game. Although I do wish the story made a little bit more sense to me. I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Yep, Q.U.B.E is a standout puzzle game. I'm giving it 4 rubber chickens.
Cool looking game, guys.
Yeah, it does borrow a lot from Portal, but it does it really well.
Now, how about a Portal 3, huh?
Well, next week on the show, we won't have Portal 3, but we will have our review of Nintendo Labo.
Plus, we'll enter a world of magic to become a powerful summoner in Masters of Anima.
And don't forget to join us online and check out our live streams every week, including our Hands-On with Nintendo Labo, starring special guest Tyler from My Year 7 Life. See you next time. Gem out.
Right out.
Goose out.